Okay, well, good morning from Bali. It's 9 a.m. here, and I'm really, really excited to have this opportunity to speak about my passion with all of you beautiful beings. So I work with sexuality. I mean, work is not really the right place. Like, I play, I have fun, I share, and all of that. So I work mostly with women, and my mission is to support women to awaken their sexuality intentionally, to love themselves unapologetically, and to simply own the unique feminine power. And I support women mostly one-on-one because it's a really profound journey that transforms the depth of who you are. And I also love facilitating journeys offline. Well, in the all good times where we could meet offline. Yeah.
And again, we'll return to those times soon. And I love what you just said, because this is my favorite part of life as well. You didn't call it your favorite part of life, but I know it's one of your favorite parts of life, the way you just described that. I will definitely call human connection and human sexuality and just the connections that we make as we go on this journey of life. This is by far my favorite parts. It always has been. And I like what you said. Like, it doesn't ever feel like any type of work, especially having fun conversations with awesome humans. But then when I get to talk about, really my favorite subject, definitely it's fun and just play for me. So it's going to be a fun conversation. I'm always curious from people because you obviously have had, some light bulbs come on with you when it comes to just knowing who you truly are, energetically. And like I mentioned, Aurika was like in the middle of like a meditation when I joined her here on Zoom, and quickly told me that she could meditate anywhere, anytime, which I totally relate to. I wasn't always that way, but just curious with your journey. For you as a kid, I know we all come as little unconditional loving little babies, and we're just like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and for a lot of us, we forget over the years who we truly are. How did your light bulb come on, or did it just stay on from the time that you were a little baby?
No, not at all. I think by the age of 7, I had totally forgotten who I am, what's my truth, what's my authenticity. And then, of course, I had a pretty conventional upbringing where there was no sex talk, no menstruation talk, and we're just somehow supposed to know how things work out. When I would come together, maybe with my partner, we just kind of expect things to work out naturally, because sexuality is meant to be natural, right? So for many, many years, I did not even question that there's something to look into this, until I had a very conventional life. I used to work for corporations and advertising, and I had insomnia. I was going to look for love in all of the wrong places, like Tinder dates or binge eating or other things that maybe are not so legal and so on. And then I'd had to really go downward spiral to realize like this is not working. And for many, many years, I had this like deep impulse for freedom. Like, I would go and hitchhike, I would go to like rainbow hippie gatherings where I would dance naked by the fire, and then I would come back to my corporate job the next week. So I had this like very double life. I had like a secret life where I felt, I think this is more like me, but I had no role models around me to tell me that it's okay to want to be free. It's okay to want to be wild and scream and be sexual and be naked and all of that. There was no space for that. So I kind of really, really compromised my bigness, because also where I come from in Lithuania, women are supposed to be just nice, quiet, decorations by the table, who don't speak up, who don't speak too loud, who are not too opinionated, So I thought that this is about it, until like I really, really went down, and I had quite bad insomnia for 2.5 years. And I felt like this is finished. I just can't do this anymore. So I just basically gathered all of my courage and left Europe, and I went to Bali. I didn't have much savings. I had like 1,000 euros in my bank account. and there things didn't start shift straight away. It was really interesting. I was living in paradise, but I felt the same, because I came with the same interior world, same all limiting beliefs, same ways to numb my emotions, same ways to look for quick happiness in like bad dates or alcohol and so on. Like, it was the same, even though outside it was magnificent. Until I discovered there is some very powerful energy between my legs. Literally. I thought, okay, can I try something else? I'm gonna go celibate for a month. That means no masturbation, because I used to masturbate myself to sleep every night. 1 minute, finished, you know? And so I thought 1 month, nothing, and see what happens. And basically I was going quite crazy. I realized this energy is so potent, it was getting really accumulated in my pelvic floor and felt so unpleasant. Like, it was like really annoying. Until someone told me, like 1 month later, that actually I can move this energy. There's certain practices I can do to move it in and up through breath work. So I did for a few days and I was feeling ecstatic. It was incredible. I didn't really feel the energy moving, but just with the power of intention and my power of attention, I was like, whew, it started moving and things started expanding. And of course, it didn't happen in 3 days, but like a whole Pandora box opened up. Like, my emotions started to come to the surface. I was not so afraid of my maybe anger, sadness, grief, and jealousy. So I was just starting to experience life its fullness. And this is where sexuality came into the field. Yeah, so that's a little backstory.
Super interesting. I love how you just illustrated your story just now, Aurika. And if I'm mispronouncing your name, just bear with me.
That's okay.
I think you said it much more elegantly than I'm saying it, but you said something right at the very beginning of that is so important that I want to highlight for the audience. You mentioned that you were looking for love in all the wrong places. And I want to highlight this because this is what that means to me. Whenever we are looking externally for our love or for our happiness or for our joy and trying to, go into the outside world, and when we have a good date or something, then we're happy. Or if we have a good week at work, then we're happy. If we have a bad date or a bad week at work, then we're just, it's a roller coaster of life when we're always reaching for the external.
Yeah.
And what a lot of us don't realize until we do is that if we can go within and look for love there, which is who we truly are, look for that connection, then we can reflect that into the outside world in the form of, and you can find love if that's what you're looking for or whatever you're looking for in infinite places. Like you can find love on Tinder if you want to. You mentioned Tinder. Yeah. But if we're trying to manipulate the outside in order for us to feel good on the inside, it's a rough ride. This was my greatest weakness at one point in life, and I love how you illustrated that, because once I became aware of that, it became really, really important to pay attention to the only thing that we can really control is what's my vibe, energy, frequency, mood that I'm bringing to life right here and now. The only moment that's really promised. And everything that we're going to talk about in this episode or we'll ever talk about, it's all a practice, but it starts with awareness. And it's awesome, like how that led into your you didn't mention if you finished that 1 month of celibacy.
I ended up relating to someone.
When you said that, I was like, that's only time I've gone 1 month of celibacy was before I started any type of sexual activity. So.